The pediatrician smiles at my daughter's birthday party and says she has her real father's eyes. That's when my 10-year marriage begins to die. Dr. Mitchell doesn't notice my world tilting. She's examining Sarah's scraped knee from the bouncy castle, making small talk while 20 other parents chat over cake and juice boxes in our backyard. That such distinctive green eyes, she continues, dabbing antiseptic on the cut, just like her dad's. She glances up at me, at my brown eyes, then at my wife Rebecca across the yard. Rebecca's eyes are brown too. The silence stretches between us. Dr. Mitchell's smile falters. Genetics are funny, she says quickly, applying a unicorn band-aid. Sometimes traits skip generations. But I'm already counting backwards, 9 months from Sarah's birthday. Where was I? Where was Rebecca? The business trip to Denver, the conference that ran late, the phone calls at odd hours. I watch my daughter run back to her friends, her auburn hair bouncing, hair that matches neither mine nor Rebecca's. Those green eyes that everyone always comments on. How did I never question it before? The party continues around me. Rebecca laughs at something her sister says. Parents snap photos. Children shriek with sugar-fueled joy. My phone records everything, the video that I'll watch obsessively later, looking for signs I missed. Looking for the moment my marriage actually ended and I just didn't know it yet. I count backwards 9 months and feel my chest cave in. That night, after the guests leave and Sarah crashes from her birthday high, I stand in our bathroom staring at the medicine cabinet. Rebecca's in bed, scrolling through her phone, probably posting party photos on Instagram. The house smells like vanilla frosting and disappointment. My hand hovers over the cabinet handle. Once I open this door, I can't close it again. Inside, past the aspirin and vitamins, tucked behind an old prescription bottle, I find them. Birth control pills. The dates on the pack are current. The pills are being taken regularly. One missing for today. But Rebecca and I have been trying for another baby for 2 years. She cries every month when her period comes. She bought ovulation tests. We've discussed fertility treatments. The prescription date stares back at me, filled 3 years ago, refilled every month since. 2 weeks after she said she stopped. In the den, I pull out credit card statements. Rebecca always handled our finances. I trusted her completely. Now I examine each line like an archaeologist discovering a lost civilization's demise. Restaurants I don't recognize. Hotels during her client meetings. Charges from a lingerie store the day before her Denver trip. There, a hotel charge from March 7 years ago, the Marriott downtown, but her conference was at the Hilton. The amount is for 2 nights, but she came home after 1, said the conference ended early, surprised me with afternoon intimacy. 9 months before Sarah's birth, the hotel was 3 blocks from her office. If you've ever felt the ground disappear beneath you, leave I understand below. Because that's what this feels like. Not falling, but discovering you've been falling for years and only just noticed the wind rushing past. I drive to CVS at midnight. The fluorescent lights feel too bright, exposing my intentions. The pharmacy aisle stretches before me like a courthouse corridor. Other customers avoid eye contact, buying their own shameful necessities, pregnancy tests, condoms, hemorrhoid cream. We're all here because our lives have taken unexpected turns. The home paternity test sits on the shelf between prenatal vitamins and ovulation predictors. The irony isn't lost on me. $129,999 to potentially destroy everything I thought I knew. The pharmacist rings it up without comment, but her eyes say she knows. She's seen this before, the haunted look of someone about to open Pandora's box. Back home, I stand outside Sarah's room. Her nightlight casts stars on the ceiling, a galaxy of innocence I'm about to disturb. She sleeps curled around the stuffed unicorn I gave her today, one arm flung above her head, the way she slept since she was a baby. The instruction pamphlet says, I need a cheek swab. Just a gentle brush inside her mouth. She won't even wake up. The swab tastes like the end of everything. I package the samples, hers and mine, in the prepaid envelope. My handwriting on the form looks like someone else's, shaky and uncertain. Date of suspected child's birth, alleged father's name. The language is so clinical, so cold. This is my daughter we're talking about, the girl who calls me daddy, who runs to me when she's scared, who insists I check for monsters under her bed. But is she really mine? The next morning, Rebecca finds me staring at Sarah's kindergarten artwork on the refrigerator. It's titled My Happy Family in crayon across the top. Stick figures hold hands under a yellow sun. She's drawn me larger than everyone else, taking up most of the paper, and underneath in her backwards kindergarten handwriting, Best Daddy. You okay? Rebecca asks, pouring coffee. Her hand touches my shoulder, and I have to stop myself from flinching. Just tired from the party. She kisses my cheek. She smells like lavender shampoo and lies. Sarah had such a good time. Did you see Dr. Mitchell fixed her knee? She's so good with kids. Dr. Mitchell, who noticed what I'd been blind to for 6 years. Yeah, I say. She mentioned Sarah's eyes, how green they are. Rebecca's hand stills on her coffee mug, just for a second. If I hadn't been looking for it, I'd have missed it. Genetics are weird, she says. My grandfather had green eyes. But I've seen photos of her grandfather. His eyes were hazel at best. And I'm already too far down this path to stop now. The test is in the mail. In 5 to 7 business days, I'll know the truth. She drew me larger than everyone else and labeled it Best Daddy. The waiting is excruciating. Each day I leave work early to check the mail before Rebecca gets home. Each day, nothing. Sarah continues being Sarah, leaving toys everywhere, insisting on wearing her tutu to grocery stores, telling me elaborate stories about her imaginary friend named Coconut. She asked me to read Where the Wild Things Are every night, doing the voices just right, roaring our terrible roars and showing our terrible claws. How can she not be mine when I see myself in her stubbornness, her laugh, her way of tilting her head when she's thinking? But then I catch those green eyes in certain lights, and I see a stranger looking back. Rebecca notices my distance. She suggests date nights, couples activities, maybe a weekend away. You've been so stressed lately, she says, rubbing my shoulders. Is it work? Yeah, I lie. Big project, it'll pass. She believes me because I've never given her reason not to. I've been the devoted husband, the reliable provider, the good father, the fool. On the 7th day, the envelope arrives. Thin, official, addressed to me at my office. I'd been smart enough to use my work address. My hands shake as I tear it open in my car in the parking garage. The results are immediate. No preamble, no softening blow. Probability of paternity, 0.1%. The report continues with scientific explanations, DNA markers, genetic impossibilities. But all I see is that 0. That absolute nothing. That mathematical confirmation that my entire life has been built on someone else's deception. The paper crumples in my fist. Then I smooth it out and read it again and again, as if the numbers might change, as if there might be a footnote saying, just kidding, she's yours. But there isn't. She isn't. That 0 follows me home. It sits at the dinner table while Sarah tells us about her day at school, how she's learning to write her name, how Tommy Burke put gum in Melissa's hair. It watches while Rebecca loads the dishwasher, humming off-key to whatever's on the radio. It screams while I help Sarah with her bath, making her toy dolphins jump through imaginary hoops. Daddy, Sarah says, beard of bubbles on her chin, will you love me forever and ever? Forever and ever, I promise, and mean it, even though she's not mine, even though her real father is somewhere out there, obvious to everyone but me. The 0 echoes. She's not yours. She never was. But I love her anyway. That's the cruelest part. 3 days I carry the results. 3 days of Rebecca asking if I'm okay, of Sarah wanting piggyback rides, of pretending our life isn't already over. The paper burns in my jacket pocket. During a work presentation, I lose my train of thought completely, staring at the quarterly projections while seeing only zeros. Finally, I call Dr. Patricia Reeves, the marriage counselor Rebecca suggested last year when I was working too much. I schedule an emergency session for both of us. "Why the sudden urgency?" Rebecca asks in the car. "I thought you didn't believe in therapy." Things change. She reaches for my hand at a red light. I let her take it. Her wedding ring catches the sunset through the windshield. The ring I saved 6 months to afford. The ring she cried over. The ring she wore while sleeping with someone else. Dr. Reeves's office smells like vanilla candles and desperation. Certificates line the walls. Credentials to fix the unfixable. Rebecca settles into the couch, crossing her legs, adjusting her skirt. She's wearing the blue dress I bought her for our anniversary. I wonder who else has seen her in it. "So," Dr. Reeves begins, notepad ready, "what brings you here today?" I pull out the papers, the credit card statements, the hotel receipts, the DNA test results. I lay them on the coffee table like evidence in a court case, which I suppose this is. Rebecca's face cycles through confusion, recognition, panic, and finally settles on indignation. "You went through my things. You tested our daughter without telling me." "She's not our daughter," I say. "She's yours." Dr. Reeves looks between us, pen frozen above her pad. "James, this is DNA tests can be wrong. We should..." "They're not wrong." My voice sounds dead even to me. "She has her real father's eyes. Everyone can see it but me. Even Dr. Mitchell noticed at the party." Rebecca starts crying, not the gentle tears of regret, but the ugly sobbing of someone caught. "It was one time, one mistake, years ago." March, 7 years ago. The conference that ended early. She nods, mascara running. Dr. Reeves hands her tissues. "Who?" I ask, though part of me doesn't want to know. "Mark, from the Denver office." "Mark. I know Mark. We've had dinner with Mark. Mark sent us a congratulations card when Sarah was born. Mark with his green eyes and auburn hair." "Does he know?" "No, I never told him. I never told anyone." She reaches for me, but I pull back. "James, please, you're the only father she knows." There it is, the card she's been holding, the manipulation disguised as concern for Sarah. "That's not my fault," I say, "but she loves you. She needs you. She needs honesty. She needs a mother who doesn't build her life on lies." Dr. Reeves interjects, "Let's focus on what's best for Sarah." "What's best for Sarah?" I stand up. "What's best is not having a mother who lets another man raise his child unknowingly. What's best is not having parents whose entire relationship is fraud." "It's not fraud," Rebecca protests. "I love you. We built a life together. You built a life. I was just living in it, paying for it, believing in it like an idiot." She said, "But you're the only father she knows." The next morning, I do something I swore I wouldn't. I look up Mark Stevenson on LinkedIn, senior account manager, Denver office, divorced, according to Facebook. His profile photo shows him at a company picnic, smiling, those green eyes obvious even in the compressed image. I scroll through his posts, marathon times, craft beer recommendations, photos from hiking trips, normal stuff. The stuff of a man who doesn't know he has a 6-year-old daughter 3 states away. I message him. "Need to discuss an urgent matter. Can you meet? I'll come to Denver." He responds within an hour. "Sure, everything okay? How's Rebecca and the family?" The family. If only he knew. We meet at a coffee shop downtown, one of those places with exposed brick and Edison bulbs, trying too hard to be authentic. Mark looks older than his photos, gray threading through that auburn hair Sarah inherited. He stands when he sees me, extends his hand, firm handshake, good eye contact, the greeting of an honest man. "James, good to see you. How's that beautiful daughter of yours?" The words hang between us. I pull out my phone, show him the photo from her birthday party, watch his face change as he really looks at her for the first time, sees what everyone else saw immediately. "How old is she?" His voice is quieter now. 6, born November 15th. He's doing the math. I can see it in his eyes, those green eyes that match Sarah's perfectly, remembering the conference, the early morning goodbye, the promise to keep it professional going forward. "Does Rebecca know you're here?" "No." He stares at the photo. Sarah mid-laugh, cake frosting on her nose. "She's mine, isn't she?" DNA says 99.9% certain she's not mine, which leaves you. His coffee sits untouched, growing cold. I have a daughter I've never met." "You've met her, actually. Company barbecue 2 years ago. She was 4. You gave her a piggyback ride." The recognition hits him physically. He remembers. "The little girl with the tutu. She called me Mr. Mark. She calls me Daddy." We sit in silence. Around us, people work on laptops, first dates navigate small talk, friends catch up over lattes. Normal life continues while 2 men reckon with a 6-year-old secret. "What do you want from me?" Mark asks finally. "I don't know. I thought I'd want to hit you. But you didn't know either." "I would have. If I'd known, I would have done something. Been there." "Would you? Would you have blown up your marriage, moved states, paid child support for a baby from a one-night stand?" He doesn't answer because we both know the truth. He didn't even know he had a daughter. The lawyer's office is different from the counselor's. No soft lighting or tissue boxes, just law books, filing cabinets, and the mechanical hum of justice being processed into billable hours. Janet Morrison has handled 3 of my colleagues' divorces. She has a reputation for being ruthless, which is what I need now. "Paternity fraud," she says, reading through my documents. "It's more common than you'd think. Unfortunately, in this state, you're still legally her father." "Even though I'm not?" "You signed the birth certificate. You've acted as her father for 6 years. The court considers the child's best interests, not the father's deception." "So I could be on the hook for child support until she's 18 for another man's child?" "Potentially, yes. Unless the biological father claims paternity and assumes responsibility. Has he been notified?" I think of Mark staring at Sarah's photo, the dawning recognition, the regret. He knows, but he lives in Denver, has his own life. "That might work in your favor. Courts don't like to disrupt established patterns." She makes notes on a legal pad. "What about custody? Do you want to maintain a relationship with Sarah?" The question I've been avoiding. Can I look at her every day knowing she's not mine? Can I not look at her knowing she thinks I'm her father? I don't know. Janet's expression softens slightly. "You don't have to decide today, but you should know. If you walk away now, it's likely permanent. Rebecca could claim abandonment, use it against you in proceedings." "And if I stay involved?" "Then you're accepting a parental role, which strengthens her claim for support. In this state, you're still legally her father." The conversation I've been dreading happens by accident. I'm driving Sarah home from gymnastics. Rebecca had a client dinner, though I no longer believe anything she says. Sarah's in her booster seat, still in her leotard, hair in the bun Rebecca expertly twists every Wednesday morning. "Daddy," she says, watching the streetlights blur past, "why does Mommy cry when you're not home?" My hands tighten on the steering wheel. When does Mommy cry? At night sometimes, after she thinks I'm asleep. She sits in the bathroom and cries really quiet. The bathroom where I found the birth control pills, where this all started. I don't know, sweetheart. Sometimes adults have complicated feelings. Is it because you don't love her anymore? Children see everything. We think we're protecting them with our silences and closed-door arguments, but they know. They always know. I love you, I tell her, which isn't an answer, but is also the only answer that matters. Forever and ever. Forever and ever. She's quiet for a moment, kicking her legs against the seat. Tommy Burke's parents don't live together anymore. He has 2 bedrooms now, 2 birthdays, 2 Christmases. That sounds complicated. He says it's not so bad, except his dad's new girlfriend smells like cigarettes. I glance at her in the rearview mirror, those green eyes, Mark's eyes, studying me. Sarah, you know that no matter what happens, you're loved, right? That won't change. I know, Daddy. You tell me every day. Daddy, why does Mommy cry when you're not home? The mediation is scheduled for a Tuesday morning. Rebecca brings her lawyer, someone from her firm who specializes in family law. The mediator, a tired-looking man named Carl, has the weary air of someone who's refereed too many domestic disasters. Let's start with assets, Carl suggests, but Rebecca's lawyer interrupts. We need to address custody first, and support. Support? I laugh, but it's bitter. For Sarah, she's not my biological child. That's been established. You've acted in loco parentis for 6 years, the lawyer counters. You can't simply abandon your parental obligations. Obligations I took on under false pretenses. Rebecca speaks for the first time. She calls you Daddy. She loves you. How is that false? Because you lied. Every day for 6 years you lied. I protected my family. You protected yourself. Carl raises his hand. Let's take a breath. Focus on the child's needs. The financial statements come out. 6 years of private school tuition I've paid, dance classes, gymnastics, medical bills, college fund contributions, all for another man's child while my wife collected her salary and saved it for what? Her exit strategy? Mrs. Chen requests child support of $2,000 monthly, plus continuation of health insurance and educational expenses. For Mark's child. For the child you've raised as your daughter. Have you contacted Mark about support? I ask Rebecca directly. Since he's the actual father? She looks away. He's not interested in disrupting his life. Of course not. He gets to walk away clean while I'm trapped by my own devotion. She wanted child support for another man's child. Would you fight for a child who isn't biologically yours, or walk away clean? The question echoes as we divide our life into spreadsheet columns. The house. Rebecca wants it for stability for Sarah. The investment accounts split down the middle, though she contributed less. The photo albums. Who even wants those anymore? There's also the matter of Sarah's college fund. Rebecca's lawyer adds, currently valued at $47,000. Money I saved by skipping lunches, working overtime, driving the same car for 8 years so our daughter could go to any school she wanted. Money for Sarah's future that I contributed to every month while Rebecca was buying birth control pills and lying about trying for another baby. That's mine, I say. I funded it entirely. For Sarah's education, Rebecca counters, you can't punish her for my mistakes. My mistakes, singular, as if it was just the once, just Mark, just one conference 7 years ago. But trust is like a mirror. Once cracked, you see fractures everywhere. Every late meeting, every girl's weekend, every time she was too tired for intimacy, all suspect now. Fine, I say, but I want the video from her birthday party and her drawings, the ones on the refrigerator. Rebecca's lawyer looks confused. Children's artwork, that's hardly a marital asset. But Rebecca understands. She knows what those drawings mean to me. The best daddy portrait, the family under the rainbow, the stick figures holding hands. Evidence that for 6 years I was her father in every way that mattered, even if biology disagreed. You can have copies, she concedes, always the negotiator. Even our memories are subject to division. The house echoes differently when half a life has been removed. Rebecca took what she called her things while I was at work, leaving geometric gaps on the walls where pictures hung, dust-free rectangles on shelves where her books lived. The moving crew was efficient, surgical. They knew not to touch anything in Sarah's room. But Sarah isn't here either. Temporary custody arrangement while we sort things out. She's with Rebecca at her sister's place, a 2-bedroom condo across town. I get weekends pending final determination. I stand in Sarah's doorway. Her bed unmade, the way she left it Tuesday morning, rushing for school. Unicorn sheets twisted, pillow on the floor, a museum of a childhood I'm no longer entitled to witness daily. On her nightstand, forgotten in the move, sits Mr. Buttons, the teddy bear I bought her when she was 2. She'd been sick with pneumonia, tiny in the hospital bed, and the bear was bigger than she was. She named him Mr. Buttons because she couldn't say Benjamin. I pick him up. He smells like her. Johnson's baby shampoo, apple juice, that indefinable scent of child that's part cookie crumbs, part playground dust, part innocence. My throat closes around the familiar ache. The bear still smelled like her shampoo. 2 weeks into the separation, my brother Tom drives down from Portland. He finds me in the garage sorting through boxes I haven't looked at in years. Wedding decorations, photo albums, the hospital bracelet from Sarah's birth, baby Chen, 7 Lees, 4 OZ, November 15th. "You look like hell," Tom says, handing me a beer. "Thanks, very helpful." "When's the last time you ate actual food? Not coffee and whatever's in the vending machine at work." "I can't remember. Food tastes like cardboard lately. Everything does." "Come on," he says. "We're going out. Shower first. You smell like despair and old pizza." At the restaurant, some sports bar Tom found on Yelp, he makes me eat wings and watch basketball. Normalcy as medicine. Around us, people cheer for 3-pointers and argue about referee calls. Life without devastation. "You know what pisses me off most?" Tom says, draining his 3rd beer. "Rebecca gets to keep being Sarah's mom. No question, no DNA test needed. But you, who've been there every day, every nightmare, every scraped knee, you have to prove something? That's bullshit." "Biology matters," I say. "Does it? Dad's not my biological father." I stare at him. In 34 years, he's never mentioned this. "Mom told me when I turned 18. He continues. "Bio-dad was some guy before she met Dad. Didn't want anything to do with a baby. Dad married her knowing I wasn't his. Never treated me different. Never made me feel less than you. That's a real father." "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because it didn't matter. Dad's my dad. Same way you're Sarah's." But I'm not. The state might debate it, the DNA confirms it, and soon the court will decide it. The weekend visits are agony wrapped in routine. I pick Sarah up Saturday morning, return her Sunday evening. 48 hours of pretending everything's normal while she asks when she's coming home, when Mommy and Daddy will live together again, why Mrs. Patterson next door asked if we're getting divorced. "Are you?" she asked one Saturday, eating pancakes I've made into dinosaur shapes, her favorite. "It's complicated, sweetheart." That's what Mommy says too. She's developed new habits in the weeks at her aunt's. Chews her nails now. Asks repeatedly if I'll be there to pick her up, as if I might forget, might disappear like the furniture and the photos and the life we had. "Daddy," she says that afternoon, working on a puzzle, "if you and Mommy don't love each other, do you still love me? More than all the stars in the sky? More than chocolate chip cookies? Way more than cookies. More than football? I don't even like football that much." She laughs, but it's smaller than before, cautious. "Will I still be your daughter if you don't live with Mommy?" The question stops me cold. She knows. Somehow, on some level, she knows something fundamental has shifted. "You'll always be my Sarah, always." But that's not entirely my decision anymore. The final custody hearing is set for a Thursday morning in September. 3 months since the birthday party, since Dr. Mitchell's innocent observation destroyed everything. Rebecca's been strategic, enrolled Sarah in activities near her sister's place, established new routines, created facts on the ground. My lawyer, Janet, is brutally honest. You have two choices. Fight for shared custody and accept the financial obligations that come with it, or relinquish parental rights entirely. What would that mean? You'd have no legal claim to Sarah, no visitation rights, no say in her upbringing, but also no financial obligation. And Sarah? Rebecca could tell her whatever she wants, that you abandoned them, that you never loved her, or she could be honest. Rebecca, honest. The concept feels foreign now. There's a third option, Janet adds. Informal arrangement. No legal standing, but if Rebecca agrees, you could maintain some relationship. As an uncle figure, family friend, many families make it work. An uncle, demoted from father to uncle because of someone else's lies. Mark calls unexpectedly the night before the hearing. I almost don't answer, but curiosity wins. I've been thinking, he says without preamble, about Sarah, about responsibility. Bit late for that. I know, I'm sorry, I've been a coward. He pauses. I want to contribute. Financially, I mean, it's not fair that you... Keep your money, I interrupt. This isn't about money. Then what's it about? I think about it. What is this about? Pride, principle, punishment. It's about a little girl who calls me daddy and doesn't understand why her world exploded. I could meet her, explain things, take some responsibility. The thought of Mark playing father after 6 years of absence makes me sick. She doesn't need another disruption. She needs stability. And you? What do you need? Peace, answers, a time machine, my daughter who isn't my daughter. I need this to be over. The courtroom is smaller than I expected, more office than theater. Judge Martinez looks tired already at 9 in the morning, probably from too many broken families parading through his court. Rebecca wears her navy suit, the one she wore to her mother's funeral. Appropriate, I suppose. We're burying something here too. Sarah's not present, thank God. She's at school, learning addition, unaware her future is being decided by strangers. The lawyers present their arguments, best interests of the child, established patterns, psychological bonds versus biological reality, words that reduce 6 years of bedtime stories and scared night snuggles to legal precedent. Then Rebecca takes the stand. Under oath, she admits the affair, admits the deception, admits she knew probably that Sarah wasn't mine but hoped I'd never find out. Why? Judge Martinez asks, the question I've never directly asked. Because James is a good father. Because I loved him. Because I thought if enough time passed, it wouldn't matter. Did you consider telling him the truth? Every day. But then I'd watch them together, reading books, playing tea party, teaching her to ride a bike. How could I destroy that? You didn't think he had a right to know? She looks at me for the first time since entering the courtroom. I thought I was protecting everyone. You were protecting yourself, I say, loud enough for the court reporter to hear. Judge Martinez raises his hand for silence, then addresses me. Mr. Chen, you've been Sarah's father in every meaningful way for 6 years. The court recognizes the profound betrayal you've experienced. However, we must consider Sarah's well-being. She knows you as her father. Losing that relationship would cause significant psychological harm. I'm not trying to hurt her. I know, but sometimes the absence of harm requires difficult choices. I'm going to approve joint legal custody with primary physical custody to Mrs. Chen. Mr. Chen, you'll have alternating weekends and Wednesday dinners. Child support is set at $1,000 monthly. Your Honor, my lawyer stands. My client requests consideration of the paternity fraud. Noted, but the child's needs supersede the circumstances of her conception. Mr. Chen, you have 30 days to appeal. The gavel falls. It's over. I'm legally obligated to father another man's child. Outside the courthouse, Rebecca approaches. James, don't. We need to talk about how to handle this with Sarah. Now, you want to talk? Now you care about handling things properly? I know you hate me. I don't hate you, I say, and realize it's true. I nothing you. You're just someone I used to know who looks like someone I used to love. She flinches. I'll tell Sarah you love her, that this isn't her fault, that you'll always be her what? Her father? We both know that's not true. Her family. You'll always be her family. But family means something different now. No blood relation, no marriage certificate, just chosen family. The transition happens gradually. Sarah starts calling me Uncle Jamie sometimes, usually when other kids are around. I don't correct her. Rebecca begins dating someone, Brad from her cycling class. He's nice enough, doesn't try to play father. Sarah tells me he makes good grilled cheese, but not as good as mine. My apartment becomes the fun weekend place. We build blanket forts, have indoor picnics, stay up past bedtime watching Disney movies. It's not the life I planned, but it's something. One Saturday, she brings a handmade card. Happy Uncle's Day, it says in glitter glue, with a drawing of us at the park. Inside, thank you for loving me even when things are weird. Did Mommy help you write this? No, Aunt Jennifer did. She says you're the best uncle who's not really an uncle she knows. I hang it on my refrigerator next to her old drawings. The evolution of our relationship in crayon and construction paper. She started calling me Uncle Jamie, and it didn't hurt anymore. My new girlfriend, Melissa, meets Sarah after 6 months of dating. I'd been hesitant, protective of both of them, but Melissa's a child psychologist. She understands complicated families. She's delightful, Melissa says after Sarah's gone home, and she clearly adores you. It's complicated. The best families usually are. She helps me reframe things. Not a demotion from father to uncle, but a promotion to chosen family. Not bound by obligation or deception, but by genuine affection. Sarah comes to me because she wants to, not because a court mandates it. You know what's beautiful? Melissa says one evening, watching Sarah teach her card tricks I'd taught her. She doesn't care about DNA. She just knows you're someone who loves her. That's pure. Tom visits for Thanksgiving. We decide to have our own celebration, me, him, Melissa, and Sarah, for the afternoon before she goes to Rebecca's for dinner. A found family feast. Sarah helps make pie, flour in her hair, apples everywhere. Uncle Jamie, she says, concentrating on crimping the crust. Are you happy now? What makes you ask that? You smile more. Real smiles, not the fake ones you did before. Kids. They see everything. Yeah, sweetheart, I'm happy. Good. I was worried you were sad because of me. Never because of you. You're the best part. She hugs me, leaving flowery handprints on my shirt. You're my best uncle. I'm your only uncle. Still the best. New Year's Eve. The divorce is final. Custody arrangements settled into routine. I'm cleaning out the last boxes from the garage when I find our wedding album. Rebecca in white lace, me in a rented tux, both of us young and stupid and sure we'd beat the statistics. Tom helps me build a fire in the backyard pit. Melissa opens wine. Sarah's with Rebecca's family for the holiday. Brad's introducing her to his parents. The photos curl before burning, edges blackening, faces disappearing into smoke. You okay? Melissa asks, hand on my shoulder. Yeah, it's time. We watch our history turn to ash. The ceremony, the reception, the honeymoon photos from Hawaii. All those smiles, all those promises, all those lies I didn't know I was living. But then I look at the new photos on my phone. Sarah at the zoo with Melissa and me. Tom teaching her to juggle. The four of us at Christmas wearing ridiculous sweaters, Sarah on my shoulders. A different family, a chosen one. In the ashes, I saw the outline of a phoenix. The birthday party invitation arrives in February. Sarah's 7th, this time at a trampoline park. Rebecca includes a note. I know this might be awkward, but Sarah really wants you there. Brad will be there too. We're trying to model healthy co-parenting. Healthy. After everything, we're aiming for healthy. The party's chaotic, 20 screaming kids bouncing off walls literally and figuratively. Sarah wears a crown that says birthday girl and insists I jump with her. Uncle Jamie, watch this. She attempts a flip, lands on her bottom, laughs hysterically. Dr. Mitchell's there. Her daughter's in Sarah's class now. She approaches during cake time. James, I heard about everything. I'm so sorry if my comment. You didn't do anything wrong. You just saw what was already there. She nods, uncomfortable. Sarah seems happy, still the same bright light. Kids are resilient. So are adults, apparently. Brad helps serve cake. He's trying too hard, but I appreciate the effort. Rebecca coordinates presents. We're all playing roles in this reconfigured family drama, but Sarah's happy, chocolate on her face, surrounded by friends. That's what matters. Later, as the party winds down, Sarah runs up to me. Uncle Jamie, will you come to my school play? I'm going to be a tree. Wouldn't miss it. And bring Miss Melissa. Trees need an audience. She runs off to her friends, leaving me holding her goodie bag. Rebecca appears beside me. Thank you for coming, she says. It means everything to her. I know. I'm sorry, James, for all of it. I know that too. Do you forgive me? I watch Sarah playing, laughing, being 7 and innocent and loved by so many people in different ways. I forgive you for Sarah. She needs us to be okay with each other. And for yourself? Ask me in another 7 years. She nods, understanding. We'll never be friends. We'll barely be friendly. But we'll be something Sarah needs. Adults who put her first. Real family isn't about eyes or DNA. It's about who shows up. The school play is terrible and perfect. Sarah stands stage left, covered in brown fabric and paper leaves, swaying when the narrator mentions wind. She forgets to sway once, catches herself, overcompensates with violent shaking that makes the audience laugh. Afterward, she finds us in the crowd. Me, Melissa, Tom, who drove down for it, Rebecca, Brad, various aunts and cousins. Her constellation of adults who've figured out how to orbit around her without colliding. Did you see me? I was the best tree. You were spectacular, I tell her. Oscar-worthy, Tom adds. She doesn't know what that means, but beams anyway. We're going for ice cream. Everyone can come. At the ice cream shop, we're quite the group. Rebecca and Brad at one end of the table, Melissa and me at the other, Tom in the middle, making everyone laugh with stories of my childhood disasters. Sarah bounces between us all, stealing bites of everyone's sundae, chocolate sauce on her tree costume. An older woman at the next table watches us, confused by the dynamics. Such a beautiful family, she tells Rebecca. So modern, all getting along. Rebecca catches my eye. We're making it work. That's what families do, the woman says. They make it work. Sarah appears at my elbow. Uncle Jamie, next year I want to be the lead, not a tree. Dream big, kiddo. Will you help me practice? Every single line. She hugs me, sticky and sweet, and completely unaware that she's healing wounds she didn't create. That's the thing about chosen family. You don't love them because you have to. You love them because you can't imagine not loving them. Share your story of finding family in unexpected places. How did chosen bonds save you? The phoenix doesn't rise all at once. It's a slow emergence, feather by feather, from ashes you thought would bury you. It's birthday parties where you're the uncle instead of the dad. It's girlfriend who understands why you have pictures of someone else's biological child on your refrigerator. It's a brother who drives 3 hours for a terrible school play because family shows up. It's a little girl who calls you Uncle Jamie and means I love you every single time. Sarah's 8th birthday is coming. She wants a science party, volcanoes and slime and things that explode. Rebecca emails about coordinating gifts, keeping things balanced. Brad apparently knows a guy who does educational demonstrations. My life looks nothing like I planned. I'm divorced, paying child support for a child that isn't biologically mine, demoted from father to uncle, rebuilding from deception that went to the bone. But last week, Sarah left a voicemail. "Uncle Jamie, I lost a tooth. The tooth fairy better know your apartment address too." She still thinks I'm magic, still runs to me with scraped knees and scary dreams and math homework that's too hard, still draws pictures of her family that include me, not center stage anymore, but there, part of her constellation. The real father thing stopped mattering somewhere between the ashes and the phoenix. What matters is showing up. What matters is choosing to love, even when biology and law and logic say you don't have to. Mark sends money occasionally, guilt payments Rebecca puts in Sarah's college fund. He's never asked to meet her again. His loss. You don't get to be family just because of DNA. You earn it through presence, through consistency, through showing up to terrible school plays and pretending to be amazed. Tonight, Melissa and I are looking at houses. Something with a yard, she says, room for kids to play. The plural doesn't escape me. The possibility of children who are actually mine, siblings for Sarah in everything but blood. "You sure you want this complicated life?" I ask her. "I want you," she says. "Sarah's part of that. Your whole messy, beautiful, complicated family is part of that." Family. The word means something different now. Bigger, more honest, less about contracts and certificates and more about choice. My phone buzzes. Sarah texting from Rebecca's phone. "Uncle Jamie, can we have pancakes Saturday? Dinosaur-shaped? Love you infinity." Infinity, that's about right. I text back. "Dinosaurs it is. Love you infinity +1. She sends back a string of heart emojis and dinosaur emojis, and for some reason a taco. This is my family, broken and rebuilt, scarred but strong, chosen every single day. And that's enough, more than enough. It's everything.